And eyes and ears.
Alright, everybody, my name is John McDonald, and you all remember me as the guy who tripped his great-grandmother. That's not something I do anymore. I've matured since then. Now I kick babies. No, but to better understand who I am, I've listed 3 of my biggest qualities in this notepad. And the first quality is humor. A lot of times I say some things that are really dumb that people laugh at. And my mom always tells me the story of when I was younger. We had little puppies and we took them outside and we were going to watch them walk around and videotape them. And my mom let me hold the video camera and I was like following them around, and then I turned it on me and I said, "Hi, I'm John McDonald and this is the first time I've ever shot dogs in the summer." I meant, you know, like videotaping dogs, not shooting dogs. So they always make fun of me about that. And then I always like laugh obnoxiously at stuff, and sometimes I'm in serious situations and I laugh when I'm not supposed to. Like, I was in line for getting inducted into NHS, and like I was going through the line and I saw everybody, they had to go up and they had to like sign into the register, and then they had to light their candles. And like in my head, all I was thinking was, when someone's going to bend over, their eye's going to catch on fire or something. So then I was thinking, everybody's silent, and then bam, Brendan Dolahanty's on fire. That was in my head. I kept cracking up, and it was bad. But yeah. I also have quite the imagination. Sometimes when I'm home alone, like I think of things and then I over-exaggerate. And I remember one time I was sitting at home, I just got off the bus, and I was eating a bowl of cereal, hanging out, sitting around, and then I look over and I see someone coming up to our back door. No one was supposed to be home for hours. So I see this big shadow and he starts like pulling on the door handle. And I freaked out because I was home alone, so I ducked down and I started crawling. And I crawled all the way to our front room, where then I picked up our house phone, and I took our house phone and then went to the bathroom where it hid. Because the bathroom was the only place in our house that had a lock at the time. So I'm in the bathroom and I'm thinking, what am I going to do if I have to defend myself? And I was looking around and I was trying to find some kind of weapon I could use, because I didn't think to bring something from the kitchen like a knife or something. So I found a curling iron. And I know that's probably not going to do me any good, but that was the best I could find. So I had the curling iron and I was like, well, I can't just stay in the bathroom all day, I have to call for help. So my mom was working at the time and she was at the bank, so I called my mom up. I called her and I said, there's someone trying to get into our house, they're pulling on the door and I think they're still trying to get in. So she freaked out, and she's at bank, so she's trying to make phone calls for someone to come check things out. And she calls our next door neighbor. And our next door neighbors come over with bats. They're an older couple and they're coming over with bats and they're checking things out. And it turns out the intruder was my dad, who was coming home from work, and I didn't know he was going to be home early. And now that I think about it, I can remember someone knocking on the door going, "Hey, it's Dad." They did knock, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I freaked out over something simple like that. It's just kind of what I do. I'm also a very clumsy person. Like, I get into a lot of messy situations, and right around the same time that I tripped my great-grandma, I also ran my sister over with a 4-wheeler. We like driving our 4-wheelers, and we have this track through a cornfield, and it goes up to like these woods. And we go through the track, and then we get to the woods, and my sister says, "You should try driving by yourself, because apparently it's so much different, you know, different weight or whatever." So I'm like, all right, that sounds fun. So I get on, and she walks off, and I take a lap, and I come back, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, I don't see her anywhere, so I kept driving, and I was looking around, and she jumped out of the cornfield and was going to scare me, and just like, boo, and I ran her over, because I didn't know how to use the brakes. So ran her right over. Her shoulders were centered right between the 2 front wheels, and her legs reached out to the very back wheel. So she was pinned down, she couldn't get out. She was yelling at me, telling me I needed to back the thing up, but I didn't even know how to use the brakes, so I didn't know how to back it up either. So she showed me how to back it up, and eventually I got off of her, but that was pretty funny.
Did she get hurt?
The same time that I did that, what?
Did she get hurt?
No, she wasn't hurt at all. It was like it only touched her to push her down, but it didn't. Nothing like stayed on her. But around the same time that I turned my great grandma and I did this, I also almost died choking on a lifesaver in the middle of a like a grocery store, and they had to do CPR on me, and I like spit it out. So I almost died doing that, and then I also almost drowned in a river chasing my shoe. So I didn't want to lose my shoe, so I was swimming after my shoe, and my foot got caught underneath the twig in the water, and so like the water was pushing me down, and I was stuck on the twig. But I ended up getting out of there. So I'm a pretty clumsy person. I get into a lot of messy situations, and this is what my room looks like. This is what you see when you walk right in, and then you turn to the right, and there's my TV, and then my bed's over there. And that's it.
Awesome.